Monday marked the deadline for NFL teams to meet with their free agents and decide whether or not they're going to be playing on the franchise tag. This impacts several positions, but especially running backs that have been devalued over the last 10 to 20 years when they once used to be the epicenter of every NFL offense. Today's stars like Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley have been elected to the one-year franchise tag deal. Saquon Barkley, who is responsible for over 40% of the Giants' offense, can only sign a deal under the franchise tag deal about $13 million. Obviously, I think a guy like Saquon is deserving of a long-term deal. Even Josh Jacobs, both players have been phenomenal. On the executive side, I understand it's easy to find any running back or draft one, and those are definitely the cheaper ways to do so. We've seen the Eagles do so. They disposed of Miles Sanders, who was a Pro Bowl running back, and they just elected not to sign him, and they used those cap dollars to bring in Rashad Penny and DeAndre Swift. I think the big play running backs that are still out there, like Dalvin Cook, Ezekiel Elliott, we do know that Saquon Barkley and Josh Jacobs have elected not to sign their franchise tag deal, so they'll be holding out of training camp. Problem is that these teams, they squeeze out as much production as they can out of these players on their rookie deals, basically giving them carry after carry, touch after touch, and just like any other NFL player, just when you get tackled, it's just going through like a car accident. And the running backs are dealing with the most amount of physicality. Everybody is trying to hit them, and this builds up. I mean, we've seen, for example, Todd Gurley, a player that was Offensive Player of the Year in 2017, essentially fall off the cliff and be out of the league in 2021. And it's actually the opposite in NFL fantasy, at least, when guys like Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, placed amongst the top in draft boards historically in the past 2 to 3 seasons, but those players can be easily disposed of because they just touch the ball so many times. It's hard to say who's right and who's wrong. I think just from what I've seen so far in my experience covering the NFL, that the players deserve their money, that they've worked hard to get those long-term deals. The problem is after they sign those long deals, we've seen players like Ezekiel Elliott, they've dropped off, and that is a cautionary tale for other teams, that if you sign these running backs to long-term deals, how long is that sustained success going to be once they face a big injury or just natural wear and tear due to accumulation of hits? Certainly there's a bunch of free agent running backs out there, but I do understand how the frustration is with the running back situation in the NFL. But I'd love to hear from the audience. What do you think about this whole ordeal? Would you pay your running back, or would you go the cheaper route and sign one off the scrap heap or draft one in the NFL draft?